right. So I'm gonna help you learn where to file me in your brain by contrast. And even what he was talking about there, the average chiropractor is really just dealing with the absence of pain, and that's mostly acute pain. So they're doing this kind of deal, free exam, 2 x-rays. I got a postcard from my neighbor, who's a chiropractor, for a $25 free exam and x-rays. I like that, that's cool. But, you know, that's what the average, I don't want to say average, classic chiropractor is doing. And I'm not down on that, I'm just showing you where to file me in the brain. So I'm really focused on the chronic non-responding patient. The patient is not getting well under medical care. They've been to a couple chiropractors, they're not getting well. They're doing all this stuff. They've been to the health food store. They've been done all this, and they're not getting well. Okay, thank you, that was me. And so we help them understand what we do. We have 250 videos on YouTube, Facebook, and our website, winnerswellness.com, so that's why I wasn't kidding. I'll take something that he shared and make a video out of it, but I give him credit. I even posted his website. Now, the classic chiropractors, too, is just like they'll ask me, oh, you've been to your continuing education yet? No, I've been to 100 hours. They're going to their 12 hours that they have to go to and bored out of their mind, and I'm like the guys on the right. Oh, I can't wait to learn. And I'm flying all over the country, been to West Palm Beach, been to Los Angeles twice, been to Atlanta already this year. And that classical chiropractors really has a spine-only approach, and which has some benefits, of course, and may have some lifestyle focus with that, and that's awesome too. But since I'm geared to the really chronic patient, I have this whole system that I developed over 35 years, helping people find their hidden path to optimal health. And you know, there's a registration sign beside that because that's trademarked, so I'm the only person in the country that can use that. And it stands for hormonal balance, immune strength, detoxification and efficiency, and neurological connection. This is something I've thought through for years. And see, the key of this is all how everything fits together too. I know how to fix hormones by fixing the immune system and the detox pathways and the neurological connections that are signaling the hormones. I almost never recommend people are on hormone replacement themselves, or of course they have to go to a physician for that directly, but even herbal stuff, I don't fix hormones by fixing hormones, I fix hormones by fixing the other 3 things. And it all works like that. Those pieces all relate together. And so we've really dialed in to understand this, how it all works to help the chronic person. And the classical chiropractors are basically doing manipulation of the spine for back pain, but we're doing neurological adjusting to change the brain. So a lot of our adjusting is brain-based. We're looking at a person's posture and muscle tone to find out where the brain is misfiring and then correct that. And most of the time, sometimes we're not even touching the spine for that. And if we do touch the spine, there's no twisting and there's no popping. And we're doing motor, sensory, and visceral nerve system rehabilitation. So we're rewiring the nervous system into the motor connections, into the sensory connections, and into the organs. And where am I on time? I can't see.
4 minutes.
Okay. And again, no twisting, no popping. The classical chiropractor doesn't have a tool to get to the subconscious brain. The subconscious brain is going to undo everything that's done health-wise if it's going the opposite direction. So people get great results, they get a testimonial, they get stem cell shots or whatever, and then a year later they're complaining about their shoulder again because it doesn't work right. One, because they had too much inflammation that wasn't addressed, or they have issues with the subconscious brain that's just taking them right back to baseline. And so our brain wants to go to baseline if the subconscious is set that way. But we have this amazing technique called quantum neural reset therapy, which rewires the subconscious brain and gets into the control centers for the hormones, for the immune system, and the autonomic nervous system. And it resets all those pathways and gets the subconscious brain going the same way as the conscious brain. And that's why we get long-lasting results and life-changing results that people aren't getting anywhere else. And that's why the classical chiropractor is seeing patients from 5 to 20 miles away. I've seen patients in the last 2 years from 16 states, and last month we had patients from Virginia, Ontario, Canada, Wisconsin, and North Carolina. 2 were regular patients, 2 were other chiropractors. that took time out of their practice, cost themselves $10,000 to $20,000 out of their practice for their income for the week, spent $2,000 on plane fare, spent money on hotels in this week, spent $500 a day on me doing this intensive work with their brain. And so the average chiropractor is trading out with somebody for a free adjustment with each other, and I do that too. That's good. But I got people flying in, chiropractors flying in to see me for $500 a day, getting their brain right so they can be their best for their practice. The guy that just saw me 2 weeks ago, he has 50,000 subscribers on YouTube himself. He just told all of his YouTube people that he came to see me and what we were doing for him. So only Chiropractic Redefined gets these kind of results. This lady on the left had Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune low thyroid, was on Synthroid medication. She went into a thyroid storm and went into Graves' disease and was on hyperthyroid medicine. We found out what was driving her system off in her subconscious brain. We reset that. We got her on homeopathic supplements to clear the Epstein-Barr virus that was really triggering it all. And now she has 1 year, no thyroid medication, and totally normal lab work. Nobody else can do that around here.
Yeah.
Guarantee it. That's why people are flying to see us. This guy couldn't feel his feet. He was diagnosed by Mayo Clinic with an inflammatory lesion in his spinal cord. They just gave him gabapentin to scramble the messages between his brain and his feet. We actually, again, reset his subconscious brain, found the toxins that he was exposed to, started detoxifying him from that. In 4 months, we had him running the basketball court 3 hours a night. He refereed here at Mercantile County High School, Carlisle County, all these local places, running the court 3 hours a night. That's Winter's Wellness, Chiropractic Redefined. This gal was another, this isn't her actual picture, but this is her story. Was living in her car. It's another chiropractor's daughter. He was from Hawaii, but she went to school in Portland, Oregon. Living in her car because she dropped out of school, couldn't get her life together, smoking pot all the time. If she ever stayed anyplace else, she stayed with a guy that was doing cocaine. Not too good a thing. He paid for her to fly out here and see me for a week. We reset her brain twice a day for a week. She went back to living in her car because your environment doesn't automatically change, but she is now re-enrolled in school, moved back home, focused, and has plans to become a chiropractor herself. She said, everybody else I saw pulled some leaves off the tree. My week with Dr. Winters took the tree out by its roots. That's Winters Wellness. That's Chiropractic Redefined.